Hi, in this video you will learn how to edit percentage composition infographics in our graph templates. First, let us take a look at the different types of options available to represent percentage composition. And once you know how to edit one of those, you can always follow the same pattern for editing the remaining ones as well. Let me show you how exactly these templates work. First, let us go to this one. This shows a battery chart with percentage breakup. As you can see here, there are 4 different components and the values are shown here. On one side we have the values and the other side we have percentage. Now let us say we want to edit these values. First, I'm going to click on the chart, right click, go to edit data and click on edit data option. Now instead of this being 4.5 as it is shown in category 4, I want to make this as say 7. Now as soon as I do that, you can see that there is a change that is already made here and the whole chart is recalculated. Now there are a few things that I want you to note, and that is you may have to move these labels manually because these are added as text boxes to give some additional information about these percentage compositions. Rest everything else is automatic. Now let us take a look at this template. As you can see here, there is percentage composition shown for men and also for women. Now the important thing to note here is this is actually 2 different charts. It is not one chart. We have other alternatives where we have one chart where these multiple components are shown, but in this chart we have 2 different ones. The reason why we have created this way is you can always copy these charts and paste them onto a new slide and they will work exactly fine. Let me show you how it is done. I am going to take this chart out. So I'm going to right click on this and say copy, and I'm going to insert a new slide and I'm going to paste this chart onto a new slide. Now I want to edit this chart. Let us see how it is done. Now instead of the percentage composition of say this element, the red element as 24%, I want to make this as say 35%. Let us see how exactly the whole dynamic changes. I'm going to right click on this, go to edit data, and this one item 2 is 24%, and let us say, as I mentioned earlier, it is say 35%. As soon as I do that, you can see that the chart automatically changes. Everything else is recalculated. Now when I close this, my chart is updated automatically. So these kind of charts are extremely useful if you want to talk about how men and women spend on different items differently, or they have different preferences, etc. These work beautifully. Now let us go to another variation. As you can see here, in this case we have got the percentage composition shown separately outside. Now this one is a much fancier version of the male and female versions, and this one is about the percentage composition shown with a beautiful bottle infographic. This works pretty much the same as a battery infographic. All we need to do is to click on the specific chart. Please remember, you cannot click on this because this is nothing but a graphic. You need to click on the chart component, and as soon as I click on the chart component, you will see this bounding box, and that represents that this is a chart. Another way to know that you have clicked on the chart is when you see this edit data aspect. Go to that and say instead of this as 3.5, if I want to call this as say 5, you can see that the percentage composition is recalculated. So that is how this chart works. The same is the case with this. This one shows percentage of purchase of different types of products. And this beautiful infographic of a bag comes in quite handy to represent your information in a more interesting way. We have got this beautiful dial where the different components are shown, and this one is another variation of the dial. This one shows budget composition in a different way. This one shows household expenditure, and this one shows savings composition. Pretty much all these work exactly the way that I have mentioned earlier. All you need to do is to just click on the chart, right click, go to edit data, and you can make changes to any percentage composition. For example, if I want to change this from 25% to say 35%, I just need to change that, and that automatically gets this out of range. And as I mentioned here, because we created these keeping aesthetics in mind, some of the adjustments may need to be made manually. In this case, the data label is not very clearly visible, so you may have to select that specific data label. All these templates work pretty much the same way as I mentioned in the earlier case. All you need to do is to click on the chart, right click, edit data, and you can change your values here. So that is how these set of templates work in the percentage composition charts. Hope you really liked the kind of variety that is available here. In the next video, I'll show you another set of templates and how they work. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.